Isolating Palestinian West Bank villages.
Brought to you by
Centenary Publishing House, the leading publishers of prayer and hymn books since 1977.
All right, once again, thank you for joining us this evening. My name is Luke Majumba Lenaito alongside Raymond Tonena. Starting us off today in the ballot 2026, the National Unity Platform presidential aspirant Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu has intensified his political mobilization in Busoga sub-region. Today he made stopovers in Namutumba and Bugweri districts where he was received by massive crowds. While addressing his supporters, Kyagulanyi criticized security operatives for frustrating his movement, highlighting challenges such as the closure of Busoga University, and promised inclusive leadership if elected as president. The National Unity Platform presidential aspirant Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu today continued his mobilization campaigns in Namutumba and Bugweri districts as part of his ongoing tour of the Busoga region in eastern Uganda. He was received by thousands of supporters, and while addressing a rally in Bugweri district, Kyagulanyi expressed dissatisfaction with the security operatives who recently blocked his convoy, forcing him to take a longer diversion.
Jebubuddeko twali tugenda ku mwalo ne batulemesa ne baggala oluguudo kubanga baali tebaagala tugendere ne kamera zirabe embeera y'abantu gye balimu be bagobye ku nnyanja. Kati tebaagala tugende ku makubo amanene, tebaagala tuyite mu bibuga kuba abantu bajja kuvayo bangi balage nti abantu bonna mu Busoga baagala nkyukakyuka. Kati kyebakola batusindika mu kyalo kubanga tebaagala tutuuke wali abantu, naye buli kintu dikiteta kyakola ekiseera ky'okugenda bwe kiba kituuse buli kintu kimukuba. Batusindise mu kyalo tuleme kusangayo bantu.
He went on to highlight challenges facing the region, including the closure of Busoga University, which was recently handed over to the government. Kyagulanyi expressed that education, when prioritized, is a powerful tool for development.
Busoga University ebadde nzigale okumala emyaka 7. Busoga erimu ba MP, Busoga erimu abakulembeze. Eno Busoga historically ebadde ng'esinga okuleeta abalooya. Mwe balooya mu abato myaka gyamwe mulabika mumanyi ba Alex Royce omufumbiro bokka. Eno Busoga ebadde nga ereeta abalooya abasinga okubeera abakabi kuviira ddala ku Justice Wakowambuzi. Ekitegeeza mwina talent, naye omanyi abaana bameka, birooto bimeka byobose bu keeping university mu region nga nzigale. Kati njagala bakakasa tinga tukozesa amaanyi n'ebyenfuna ebya government tujja kusupportinga both public and private educational institutions okulaba nga zisomesa abaana baffe.
The NUP leader for the outlined services, he says Ugandans will enjoy if entrusted with power. These include inclusivity in public offices, which he argued have for long been dominated by a few tribes, leaving others headlined.
Uganda nga buli omu agenda kubayinkana ne munne. Mu Uganda ng'ogenda mu Ministry of Finance osangeyo buli kabira, osangeyo Abanyankole, osangeyo Abasoga, osangeyo Abateso, osangeyo Abaganda, buli omu. Tebigenda kubeerako mbu goli mwana wani. Ojja genda ku parade y'aba generals osangeko general ave Busoga, general ave Buganda, general ave Bugishu, ba general bava wonna tebagenda kubanga ba general boogera lulimi lumu ate nga bava mu kifo kye kimu. Ekyo tekigenda kubeerawo. naye Uganda okugituukamu tulina ekisumuluzo kimu kyokka. Ekisumuluzo ekyo bakiyita protest vote 2026. Tuzolaga ku president kasita nonze Bobby wano kanonde katuntu tokola era. Tolonda kintu kyonna kya yero.
Among those who welcomed Chagulanyi's caravan in Bugweri was Mercy Walukamba, an aspirant for the District Woman Member of Parliament seat, who expressed confidence that NUP will secure overwhelming support in Bugweri.
Banange ndi musanufino nga mama Bugweri okubanga twabako owaire nga tulina omudingu waide mu bungi buti Sir President niti mwekuwerekeireku Obugweri buno bukwenda omulundi gule kiwaida ayi mu Busoga nife abasinga. Sir President kankulopere omulundi gule batuguyaguya kyali nabakulembeze abona nalizenka aye kulo tuwandiisa abalwani bangi.
Mama webale ino dada webalire irala dada neyaziza bana eno bendera dada najimpaire dada neyaziza bamuha akatebe dada tyamano people power our power NUP everywhere. Akabonero ki olaba ambulera kola ki.
All right, quite interesting there. Elsewhere, still in the ballots 2026, the President, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, has intensified his re-election campaign in the Lao sub-region, rallying residents of Alabutong and Otuke districts with promises of continued development and economic transformation. On the second day of his vote-seeking tour, the President highlighted a number of issues, including government achievements in infrastructure, electricity access, education, and poverty eradication, including the injection of over 21 billion Ugandan shillings into the PDM program and MYOGA.
In Alabutong and Otuke, President Museveni revealed that the government has injected more than 21 billion shillings into the parish development model to fight poverty at household level, alongside 2 billion shillings through the MYOGA initiative. He reminded the people of Uganda's political history, saying that when he came to power, Uganda needed unity and stability to grow, which he and the NNM worked hard to establish. He emphasized the fight against sectarianism, religious divisions, and gender discrimination, noting that women are now well represented in different sectors, including Parliament.
Liberation of Uganda eventually. Then the second point was unity. We don't believe in division of tribes. Or religion. Or looking down upon women. Or looking down upon the youth. That's why you hear we try to bring up everybody, because everybody is valuable.
On infrastructure, the President pointed to ongoing road projects such as Nebinoya, Lira Roya Bin, and Apache Lira, adding that more will be constructed if the people of Rango continue to support him.
These Kampalians don't know that road. The road from Soroti to Amuria to Obaranga to Achanpi. Achanpi must be somewhere. To Achanpi all the way to Otuke and Abim. That road we shall add it to the list. So then somebody may say, these Kampala people don't know that road. But me Jalum, because I'm a Jalum. I'm always there fighting coin, so I know the road. We have already done the roads to Karamoja on the other side.
Regarding electricity, Museveni highlighted that where areas like Rango and Karamoja once had no power, today electricity has widely expanded and mobile phone ownership has grown from just 23,000 lines in the past to over 28 million users today. He also praised the strides made in education, noting that over 250,000 learners are enrolled in Aribitonga and Otuka schools, supported by newly built facilities. On agriculture, Museveni cautioned farmers against over-dependence on swap farming, promising instead to provide fish ponds and irrigation schemes for better income and food production.
Please, my people, I have really talked and begged you to get out of poverty, but now we are going to, the fish ponds are a bit expensive. You can't do them with your PDM money. So the government is going to do them and give them free. All I want is cooperation from you.
President Museveni called on residents to rally behind the NRM, asking them to ignore what he termed as political noise and instead vote for continuity of development. He later handed party flags to parliamentary aspirants in the region as a symbol of endorsement.
The third one why Lango and Aleptong should vote for you is the fact that the national resistance movement under your leadership in the post-independent history of Uganda is the first political party in power to introduce wealth creation initiatives.
We brought this area, the hospitals and schools. Now we have all these things in this place. The PDM, the money that is going to the economy, which used not to happen, now it is happening. And that's why we need to take back the president as the president of 2026-2031.
You know, this region was ravaged by war. Our people were in the camps. It affected education. It affected the social and societal fiber of our people relating and raising our community. But now that is behind us. And that is why we want to guard jealously what we have achieved. And as people of Lango, we are inviting the rest of the country to join us in embracing President Yoweri Museveni.
All right, still under the ballot 2026. Elsewhere, the Forum for Democratic Change FDC presidential flag bearer Nathan Nandala Mafabi has taken his campaign trail to Buyende district in eastern Uganda, pledging to fix roads, improve service delivery and empower local communities if elected in 2026. Speaking to hundreds gathered at Bukungu landing site along the shores of Lake Kyoga, Mafabi outlined his plans for transforming livelihoods and boosting economic activity across the region. Rita Nandera has more.
Abagamente agenda protectinga amajaga bugobe ku nyanja omuntu yagalire mu byobugaga bw'ensi asobola kuba nti afuna akasente mu nsawo nicho gye tuli mu kutambulako yafuna sente mu nsawo era bino ebintu nga ebyobugaga by'obwensi bayagala okukozesa omunayuganda ali ebukungu omunayuganda ali mu kyalo asobola kubeera n'akasente mu nsawo. Nze Adepo Francis kamani w'abavuka ba FDC mu ggwanga lyonna Museveni okutola ku baminisita abandi olw'okuba Nandala Mafabi yali abeegeireku ate nga aba-exposinga olw'okuw'obwibi bwe baali bakozesa nga bali mu bifo byabwe. Nandala Mafabi is a farmer just like you are. He heads the only surviving cooperative union, Bugisu Cooperative Union. The rest, including Busoga Growers Cooperative Union, have died. But that of Nandala Mafabi, out of the 20 cooperative unions that we had in this country, is the only surviving one. He's the chairman of PCU. Omukulembeze gwetuwaleeteire ni ayemerezaawo cooperative union ekibiina eky'obuwagizi eky'abalimi ekyemerereyo kyonka mu iwanga lino nga ni kyamaani waakyo era ekyo ekibiina kiremesiiza
Museveni okukisula ku ttaka. So mwami Nandala Mafaabi n'omukulembeze yenka asobola okuvumbula ebyobulimi mu ggwanga lino. Nandala Mafaabi grew up in Busoga and he attained education in Busoga. So he knows how the people of Busoga feel when they are going through the hardships. He knows Busoga like the back of his hand. Honorable Nandala Mafaabi okutola ku Kyetudi nti Wambale alina kulira Busoga, yasomera Busoga, akulira Busoga, era n'isaawa gino alina amaka mawutirivine mu Busoga muno. So nono waife bwe tulija okwesiga ng'Abasoga n'ajja okutegeera. Nandala Mafaabi is a businessman and he has a lot of businesses across Busoga that he will always want to protect, just like he would want to protect the people of Uganda together with their properties. Honorable NCIF, kandi komera abanauganda bona nebukunga mu lulimo nti ezira okuba ewaima mu Uganda ng'oli kubonabona. Ezira azaala omwana amaze okuzaala omwana we n'amuwa amabaala okulya, amuwa ki emmere. Tutambulire okuva e Kamuli oluguudo we lutuliko lubi lwefunfu, era nenda kukobera n'emmotoka yaffe endala efirire ku njireko. Ndikakukobera nti yembaire entyamemu, ekirungizo yembaire entyamemu. Ekyo kikulaga nti omuntu ayidde nti bukungu buliwo wane bukungu abantu baliyo, ayidde abantu bali kubonabona waneyo ebuyende ye Nandala Mafaabi yenka. Nenda kubakobera nti oluguudo luno okuva e Kamuli okutuuka wano ku maadi gaife bwe bunamba obululu bwaime nefuuka pulezidenti waimwe luli mu manifesto yange luno lwe tunatandikirako okutaako kolasi abantu befe babe bulungi. Bino tibyakusaaga, sente diriwo okutoolako abayiga sente gaife bangi mu gavumenti ya Mwami Museveni.
All right, moving on elsewhere. Side of the ballot 2026, St. Teresa Girls Secondary School in Masindi has celebrated its Golden Jubilee, marking 50 years of academic and moral excellence. The colorful event was graced by several dignitaries, including Bishop Right Reverend Chirawa Vincent, who called on the school to continue shining and making a lasting impact in the society. The details.
St. Teresa Girls Secondary School in Nyamigisa, Masindi has celebrated its 50th anniversary. The Bishop of Hoima Catholic Diocese, Right Reverend Chirawa Vincent, emphasized that St. Teresa must strive to shine and make a meaningful impact.
I've been given this treasure of St. Teresa Secondary School, a workshop of knowledge, a workshop of all talents. God has given it to us, and He wants us that light. He wants us to use that light to acquire as much as possible, to let that light shine. St. Teresa Girls Secondary School, we want you to make a difference in our society. Make a difference. And this difference is what Jesus is saying. Your light must shine. Your light must shine. so that people who see what you are doing, the good things you are doing, your faith, your commitment, your cleanliness, your smartness, your intellectual capacity, your compassion, and so on, people may say, God is great. The Lord be with you.
And with your spirit.
Representing the Prime Minister as the guest of honor, Honorable Aleda Gizwe Ronald, the MP for Brody constituents, extended his congratulations to the school on reaching this milestone. He further remarked that the NRM government has actively involved women, providing assurance that the gender balance in the workforce will be achieved.
On behalf of the Prime Minister of the Republic of Uganda, I take the honor to congratulate St. Teresa Girls Secondary School Masindi upon making it to the 50 years of excellence in nurturing the girl child. It is only in the NRM government where the girl child and the woman for that matter has been considered and brought on board. And when you look at our government today, number 2 in government is a woman, number 3 is a woman. Look at the Prime Minister, we have judges, we have doctors and whatever. So the girl child that is studying from St. Teresa is sure that tomorrow she will be somewhere in this government.
The head teacher of the school, Reverend Sister Angela, says during their celebrations, they have also done fundraising to raise money for the construction of the Golden Jubilee Block.
It started in 1975, and this year, 2025, we are celebrating 50 years. But at the same time, we are having a fundraising for the Golden Jubilee Memorial Building, the complex storage building, where we shall have the administration offices, computer lab, and other classrooms, plus the modern library and the school chapel. But from the funds we are going to get, we are going to look for a way of getting other funds in order at least to begin the first floor in November.
News at 8. I'm Joel Tikasimire here in Masindi.
Thank you, Joel Tinkasimiri, for that report. And I believe today it is you ushering us to the Archbishop's moment. So please stay on as we listen in from His Grace.
Archbishop's Moment. Sponsored by Uganda Christian University, a center of excellence in the heart of Africa. Join the UCU experience now.
To our youth and citizens on social media, your voice is powerful. Use it to promote peace, tolerance, and constructive debate. Let social media be a tool for civic engagement, not a weapon of misinformation. Social media. To our security personnel, we thank you for your dedication to upholding law and order. During this season, we encourage you to remain impartial, professional, and protective of every Ugandan, no matter their political beliefs. As Romans chapter 13, verse 4 reminds us, authorities are God's servants for your good. Treat all citizens with respect, defend their rights, and serve as ambassadors of peace.
Archbishop's Moment. Sponsored by Uganda Christian.
You can only get such important message from here, Church of Uganda Family TV, every single day. So please make it a point to tune in and always get those wise words from His Grace, the Archbishop. Now we take a short break and return with more news, including the ballot 2026, where even the aunt president, that is Mugisha Muntu, was in Mitoma launching his manifesto. Welcome back. You are watching News at 8. Still under the ballot 2026, an Alliance for National Transformation and presidential candidate General Gregory Mugisha Muntu has officially launched his 2026 campaign in Mitoma district. The retired general was welcomed by teachers, parents and locals who poured out their concerns ranging from poor schools, lack of medicine in hospitals and deepening poverty, calling on him to rescue them from their suffering.
Chakwabe ekyomusanvu ate nabo waliko nga 10 bokka. Embera y'abasomesa kyo kituufu. Esente ze bafuna tezibamala. Omusomesa emitwalo 3 emitwalo 4 zinamuyamba zitya. Esente ennyingi ze tuyina mu ggwanga lino ekizibu ekiriyo bubbi.
Ararugafi Mitoma edagara temuri
omulingo abantu bakasinda basinzire Museveni bakasiba ninka muri ariho tomja ngusebu pargo muhanda abashuma ba sente bakwata yabura kubakwata yatureka ngo twana twibe rero habure owaguma yemerire kuhakanse byo bushu ninguma ntamukoratira nozo mwirwaro kunu yati mama raga kuniyaga mwembazi erumu ihangariyo nkwerityo
ebikoro bijendero mugishamu akaruru
zo mubansi zikozero ezamakore abahigi abarisa zo mubansi ezamucultural loan sente zaza makobaga hanze.
All right, moving on elsewhere, the Minister of Finance, Planning and Economic Development has held a 2-day budget consultative workshop with local government leaders from the central region, marking at the end of the budget consultations for the financial year 2026-2027. The engagement was organized under the theme, a full monetization of Uganda's economy through commercial agriculture, industrialization, expanding and broadening services, digital transformation, and the market access. Let's take a look.
I think we can even get more out of that.
Under the theme of full monetization of Uganda's economy through commercial agriculture, industrialization, expanding and broadening services, digital transformation and market access, the consultative workshops followed the National Budget Conference held on 11th September 2025, which aimed at setting into motion the budget preparation process for financial year 2026-2027.
The entire country a planning zone. And then we listen to stories that a school is in the middle of the church and the petrol station.
These workshops have been concluded by the Minister of Finance, Planning and Economic Development, Matia Kasaija, who was represented by the Minister of Public Service, Muruli Mukasa. The Minister indicated some of the measures undertaken by the government to address the issues raised in the last year's budget consultations.
Now, shortfalls for ex gratia, councillors' allowances and so on. Shortfalls, the Minister of Finance provided 7.305 billion in financial year 24-25 for arrears. And this has been carried forward in the current year 25-26. And it amounts now to 19.12 billion. And this has been provided. So the total allocation now for councillors for ex gratia is 53.12 billion. So, yes, some effort has been made.
According to the minister, key issues affecting service delivery in the country include salary, pension and gratuity shortfalls, and non-submission of development plans. He assured public servants of enhanced salaries. He warned public servants of corruption, which he says has crippled service delivery in the country.
We are also discussing now to raise the salaries of local government workers. But the other day, the union leaders of local governments slapped us with the industrial action. They say they are not working. Why salaries are not going to be raised? Yet, we have discussed this issue in cabinet. The Minister of Local Government presented a proposal to raise the salaries of local government workers, including the political leaders. Yes. But because the figures which were being raised were a bit ambitious, which cannot be sustainably accommodated, Cabinet decided that yes, they should be fine-tuned under the chairmanship of the Permanent Secretary, Minister of Public Service. So,
as far as growing coffee is concerned, or producing coffee, and what is in Bukoma Nsimbi, even the roads in Bukoma Nsimbi are impassable. We are looking at a time when the government will realize that we get search from this area and that area is worthy and is entitled to search.
Other relevant stakeholders explained the cross-cutting challenges affecting local governments, especially in Nakasongola district.
The wage bill is still low. It cannot cater for all staff structure. They can only pay the staff in post, but the wage cannot allow us to recruit in order to have fully a functional staff structure. Also, that one hinders our service delivery. The same applies in education.
Speaking to the media shortly after, Minister Muruli Mukasa explained the relevance of holding budget consultations.
Where the priorities and guidelines were presented by the Minister of Finance, and then consultations were rolled off with all the local governments in the country, including all the various stakeholders, private and public. And today we are coming to the conclusion of that process. Then of course that doesn't end the whole process. Then there will be another process of now looking at the key priority areas which should be focused on, and there are guidelines, of course.
John Baptista Humza, Church of Uganda, Family TV News at 8.
NDP 1, NDP 2, NDP 3, district development plans for all the 100.
Thank you, John Baptist, for that report. Also, civil society leaders from across Uganda have convened in Kampala for the National CSO Convention 2025, a high-level gathering aimed at reflecting on the role of relevance and the resilience of the civil society organizations in the country's development agenda. Now, the two-day convention, organized by the Uganda National NGO Forum in partnership with the National Bureau of NGOs and GIZ, focused on the theme, the future of civil society in Uganda, the law, the money, the politics.
The government says it remains committed to improving public sector pay in line with the approved long-term pay targets. Since the 2018 and 2019 financial year, Uganda shillings 2.5 trillion has been allocated towards salary enhancements, prioritizing sectors key to the economic development, including education. This follows the Uganda Local Government Workers Union that declared sit-down strike beginning October 1st, 2025 to protest unresolved salary disparities in the public service.
While government adopted a phased approach to implement the approved long-term pay targets, initially covering sectors and functional areas that contribute to the
All right, apologies for that. We shall be able to bring back the report. Now, the Minister of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries, Honorable Frank Tumwebaze, has announced that Uganda will join the rest of the world in commemorating World Food Day on October 26, 2025. The national celebrations will be held at Revitawa Zonal Agriculture Research and Development Institute in Fort Portal City. Minister Tumwebaze made the announcement while addressing journalists at the Uganda Media Center in Kampala. He noted that the commemorations will offer the country's a valuable platform to explore and present numerous solutions to address the ongoing food crisis.
The two-day gathering brought together a wide range of stakeholders to reflect on the current state of civil society in Uganda and to chart a shared vision for the future.
We have had an opportunity to reflect on our...
The government says it remains committed to improving public sector pay in line with the approved long-term pay targets. Since the 2018 and 2019 financial year, Uganda shillings 2.5 trillion has been allocated towards salary enhancements, prioritizing sectors key to the economic development, including education. This follows the Uganda Local Government Workers Union that declared sit-down strike beginning October 1st, 2025 to protest unresolved salary disparities in the public service.
While government adopted a phased approach to implement the approved long-term pay targets, initially covering sectors and functional areas that contribute to the...
The two-day gathering brought together a wide range of stakeholders to reflect on the current state of civil society in Uganda and to chart a shared vision for the future.
We have had an opportunity to reflect on our journey as civil society organizations, our contributions, our celebrations, but at the same time, our pains. We have also had an opportunity to reflect on the environment in which we operate, to identify pinpoints that we can hang on to better our work, to create a better environment, to create a more meaningful, constructive and contributing civil society, a sector that we can leave behind with clarity for all stakeholders, but also performing on the expectations as ascribed to us as civil society.
Agnes Chirabo, Executive Director of Food Rights Alliance, noted that the convention gave them a chance to reflect on their journey, their contributions and the challenges facing civil society and how to overcome them.
It has been a fruitful 2 days of coming together. Civil society, we are known for being too busy, always working for the youth, for the women, for the disabled, for the refugees, for smallholder farmers. We are always doers, and rarely do we find an opportunity for us to sit and now reflect on ourselves. So we celebrate these 2 days, and I think they have set a pace because we are also humans. We need a space. We need to speak out about our pains. We need to put across our fears. We need to share our concerns. And we also need to forge the future together.
She added that resolutions were made on how to contribute to the National Development Plan 4, safeguard the financial space, and ensure that NGOs work hand in hand with the government for betterment of the country.
Some of the resolutions that we have had from the two days. Number one, how do we constructively and measurably contribute to the National Development Plan 4? Two, how do we make sure that our space doesn't shrink? The policy space, but also the financial space. How do we grow our funding base? How do we sustain our programs, our impacts, and our activities? And how we commit to build a sector that plays equitably with the private sector, with government, but we also development partners.
Executive Director of the Uganda NGO Forum, Dr. Moses Isoba, emphasized the importance of civil society organizations coming together to reflect among themselves.
These have really been 2 good days of conversation. Understanding the dichotomy between profit and non-profit, understanding what is in a name, and being able to see how we can live into the challenges that we do have. As civil society organizations, our survival is premised on us being value-driven. There's always the binary of value and values. The private sector will talk about value addition, value-driven, value-based, value systems. We as a sector, we need to be truly wedded to our value proposition. It's important that we are wedded to our value proposition. That's going to be what's going to enable us to work.
While officiating at the closing ceremony, EU Ambassador Jean Sadiq underscored the need for collaboration, noting that unity among CSOs is critical in transforming communities across Uganda.
And this convention is obviously an example of how, by bringing together government, civil society, the private sector, development partners, we can chart a shared vision for Uganda's future with a focus on civil society.
I don't know if I just
All right, the government has reaffirmed its commitment to enhancing salaries for public officers through a phased approach with over 2.5 trillion already invested since 2018. Despite ongoing dialogue, the planned adjustments in the upcoming budget, some teacher and local government unions have initiated or planned industrial action. The Minister of Public Service has urged restraint, calling the strikes phenomenal and unlawful. Our reporter has the details.
The government says it remains committed to improving public sector pay in line with the approved long-term pay targets. Since the 2018 and 2019 financial year, Uganda shillings 2.5 trillion has been allocated towards salary enhancements, prioritizing sectors key to the economic development, including education. This follows the Uganda Local Government Workers Union that declared sit-down strike beginning October 1st, 2025 to protest unresolved salary disparities in the public service.
While government adopted a phased approach to implement the approved long-term pay targets, initially covering sectors and functional areas that contribute to the value addition, healthcare, infrastructure development, innovation, production for economic recovery, peace and security. Teachers were included on this priority group. Throughout the enhancement journey, government has maintained a cordial relationship with the public service labor unions, and government has also continued to fulfill its promise to workers despite several competing priorities and several macroeconomic challenges. Therefore, commitment of industrial action by some teachers on the 15th of September 2025 and the planned industrial action by the local government workers from yesterday, when discussions have not even started in the case of the local government workers, this is action that is uncalled for, and it jeopardizes the cordial relationship government has enjoyed with these labor unions.
According to the Minister of the Public Service, over 125,000 public officers have benefited from the pay increase. However, more than 66% of the workforce, particularly those in the education and the local government, have not seen any adjustments since 2014.
Now, we have worked out and agreed on a plan for salary increment for the financial year 2026-2027. His Excellency the President of the Republic has time and again reiterated government's commitment to improving the welfare of all public officers. He pledged to pursue collective solutions, including a phased salary increment with a commitment to enhance the salary of humanities teachers by 25% of the 77% approved long-term pay targets in financial year 2026-2027, among others.
President Museveni has pledged a 25% salary increment for the humanities teachers in the 2026-2027 financial year. The Ministry of Public Service has already submitted financial requirements for the consideration in the upcoming budget cycle. Authorities have appealed to the labourers' unions to call off the strikes and urging public officers to return to duty within a week or risk being deemed as having abandoned their posts.
All right, the Minister of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries, Honorable Frank Tumwebaze, has announced that Uganda will join the rest of the world in commemorating World Food Day on October 16, 2025. The national celebrations will be held at Rwebitaba Zone Agricultural Research and Development Institute in Fort Portal City. Minister Tumwebaze made the announcement while addressing journalists at the Uganda Media Center in Kampala, and he noted that the commemorations will offer the country a valuable platform to explore and present numerous solutions to address the ongoing food crisis.
Addressing the media at Uganda Media Center in Kampala today, the Minister of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries, Honorable Frank Tumwebaze, announced that the 45th World Food Day will be commemorated on October 16, 2025 at Rwebitaba Zone Agricultural Research and Development Institute in Fort Portal City. The event will be held under the theme, Hand in Hand for Better Food and a Better Future.
Our theme for this year's Food Day is Hand in Hand for Better Foods and a Better Future. This year's theme, Hand in Hand for Better Foods and a Better Future, is a powerful call for global national collaboration. It emphasizes that transforming our food systems requires us to work together across governments, organizations, the private sector, academia, and communities for the benefit of both people and our planet. We say as we farm for the benefit of the people, we must also not endanger the planet, Earth, which feeds us. So we must innovatively farm in a sustainable manner without endangering or making the ecosystem fragile.
Food insecurity remains a major challenge in Uganda, driven by factors such as climate change, economic pressures, and a large refugee population despite the country's vast agricultural potential. Chronic malnutrition and high rates of stunting, particularly in regions like Karamoja, continue to undermine health and development efforts. The minister noted that commemorating the 45th World Food Day will provide a critical platform for exploring and presenting sustainable solutions to address this ongoing crisis.
The platform of World Food Day gives us an opportunity to discuss and tackle climate change and sustainability. Climate variability threatens our food security, you know that. The theme calls for joint action to promote climate-smart agriculture, drought-tolerant crops, water harvesting, and better land management, safeguarding our environment while ensuring food security. And that's where research becomes key. Promoting peace and stability, hand in hand, underscores unity and peace building through inclusive agriculture development, empowering our youth and women, and reducing rural poverty, recognizing that food insecurity can fuel a conflict.
But while Rwebitaba Zone Agricultural Research and Development Institute, the minister indicated how the institute is a leading research center under the National Agricultural Research Organization NARO, specializing in tea, coffee, bananas, pasture improvement, and agroforestry.
Today, importantly also, we shall be unveiling new crop varieties every year. Just like you know, a pregnancy takes 9 months to deliver. So our researchers, health sector, the civil society and environment partners, and most especially you, the media team, to join hands with renewed commitment and energy as we work together towards realizing the vision of better foods and a better future for our beloved nation. Let us therefore make this 45th World Food Day not just a celebration, but a springboard of sustained action and transform lives and secure our food future.
John Baptista Humza, Church of Uganda.